Big breaking news in the baseball world. Gerrit Cole going to have to go under the knife. Tommy John surgery, out for all of 2025 and part of 2026 as well. Humongous blow to the New York Yankees. No doubt. 2023 Cy Young winner. He's first in every major category of basically the last 10 years. He is their ace. He is their guy. The Red Sox have his number, but they're not going to be able to face him this year. Tough year for Raffy Devers. He's not going to get the extra 5 or 6 homers he gets off of Cole every year. But that is a massive, massive blow to the Yankees, who have not had a good spring training here. Mike Stanton goes out first. Then Luis Gil, he's going to be out till at least June. And so they're basically, I think, your top 2 starters. Rodon would have something to say about that. But I think that's your 2 starters down, top 2 starters. And now Marcus Stroman, who was bitching about needing to be a starting pitcher, well, here you go, Marcus. You can be the starting pitcher now. And this kid, Will Warren, I think is his name, is had a good spring, and they'll probably have to turn to him earlier than they would have thought. But this really opens the door for the Orioles and the Red Sox. And I think specifically the Red Sox, because I think they have a lot more to prove. And that is just one thing that's out of their way. Gerrit Cole. And for the Yankees, I mean, I don't know if you can be talking World Series without Gerrit Cole. I don't think that can be an expectation. And, again, Luis Gil with the lat thing is out till June. I've watched a lot of baseball, and I know most of you watching have too. Okay. When they say June to start the season, that then becomes All-Star break, trade deadline, roster expansion day. It always gets backed up. There are always setbacks. You might not have Luis Gil for the whole first half of the season. And you've got a Baltimore team that's hungry to prove they should be back in the postseason that they missed, and the Red Sox trying to do the same thing. And now I know there are questions about the top end of the Red Sox rotation, but at least they're healthy, right? Other than Brian Bayo, who's not in the top end of the rotation anymore. He'll probably start the season on the disabled list. But Gerrit Cole out for the year really opens the door for the rest of the AL East. The Yankees are still going to be a good team, and Aaron Judge is still going to be a mutant. But how much different is that without Giancarlo Stanton in the lineup? And what's it like for Carlos Rodon when he's not sandwiched with Luis Gil and Gerrit Cole? It's a lot different, man. That's a lot different for the player, for the team. And we talk about how this Red Sox team could be ready to compete, could be a postseason team this year. This is a big step towards that, and something they didn't have to do, right? But you look at this lineup that the Red Sox are probably going to roll out on opening day that does not feature any of those big 3, that generational trio of positional prospects that everyone's been raving about, everyone except Tony Maz. Like, there's a real world where all 3 of those guys come up during the season. And you've got a pretty good lineup right now, with Durant at the top and Devers and Bregman and Casas saying he's going to hit 40 homers. Like, ease up, young buck. I'll be happy if you hit 28. This is a healthy Trevor Story. Knock on wood. This is a lineup that looks like a postseason team. And now they've got to figure out some roles in the starting rotation. Can Crochet give you the full season as the ace? And that would include through October. Is Tanner Houck going to give you another all-star season the way he did last year? What on earth is Brian Bayo going to give you this year? You got Buehler and Giolito coming off injuries. You're hoping you can get, I would say, a good 1 starter's worth of stats out of them. Maybe 1.5 if they're both healthy for the whole year. This is a team that's ready to get there. And this Gerrit Cole injury, while sad for the game, sad for the Yankees, is huge for the Red Sox. Not trying to take a victory lap over Gerrit Cole's Tommy John, but that opens up the door big time for the Red Sox and the Orioles in the AL East. I don't think it opens it for Tampa. I don't think it does much for Toronto. But certainly for those two teams, yeah, it does. And it's just going to be fascinating as we get into the summer how this injury situation develops with the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees had a great offseason. I think there are still holes in that lineup that have typically been plugged by Aaron Judge mostly, but the combination of Judge and Stanton, how much can Aaron Judge plug by himself? Because there are still going to be some holes there. They really thought they had something in Verdugo. They didn't. We could have told them that, decided not to, and they're going to be without him again. No one's signing him. He's a useless player, right? So this Gerrit Cole injury does a whole lot for the Red Sox and the Orioles and the Yankees more than anybody. I don't know. I'm not ready to sit here and say they're not going to make the playoffs, but you take the ace out of any team. I don't know. That's a lot on Max Fried's plate. Max Fried was a guy I wanted the Red Sox to go out and get, but there's nothing in his career that's shown he's been a number one guy, ace caliber stuff for an entire season. I think he's a nice middle of the rotation guy, like a really nice middle of the rotation guy, probably a pretty solid number 2 starter. And now it's he and Rodon, who's also been way up and down in his time with the Yankees, to go out there and carry this team through October. A lot of teams would kill to have those two guys at the top of their rotation, but those teams would not have World Series ambitions like the Yankees do. So, massive deal for the Red Sox. And if this is a team that makes the postseason this year, I would consider that ahead of schedule. I don't know about you guys. I think that's ahead of schedule. In fact, it feels like with the talent they have, they're probably ahead of schedule right now. But this is year 2 of a new GM. Like when you bring in a new GM, that's typically a huge move, like a organizational foundational move where you are completely shifting philosophies in the way that you run your baseball team. And if they make the playoffs in year 2 and are able to tap into this totally revamped farm system with 3 of the best positional prospects in baseball, then yeah, that's ahead of schedule, man. That's way ahead of schedule, I would say. To go from a team that was 6 games under 500 for, back-to-back years, 3 years in a row, back-to-back years, and then 500 in 2024, to jump to the postseason the next year when you add Garrett Crochet and Alex Bregman and Aroldis Chapman, that's well ahead of schedule and could tip the balance for years to come in the AL East. That window for the Yankees may be closer to shutting than they thought it was. And yeah, it all has a little bit to do with this Gerrit Cole injury. He had the elbow injury last year, kept him out till June. They thought it was fixed up. It's not. That's a lingering right elbow injury that now requires the biggest surgery you can get, Tommy John. Now, everyone comes back from Tommy John now, which is key and important, but they don't always come back the same. Gerrit Cole might not be the same pitcher when he comes back. And that, again, is a huge deal for the Red Sox and the Orioles down the line when he does come back. Bigger deal for them this year when he's not there. Because I don't know if the Yankees can win this division without him. They weren't doing it when he wasn't on the team. They weren't winning the division. And they've done it once since he's been on the team. I don't know that he's going to be able to, that they're going to be able to make that happen. Can someone let the fucking mailman in the door? Jesus, he's going to make my dog flip out. Anyway, I might as well go to commercial because this is going to keep happening. And that's pretty much all I had to say on the matter. I think the door is open for the Red Sox and the Orioles, if I haven't said that enough. This Gerrit Cole injury is huge for the AL, for the AL East, for the New York Yankees, and most importantly, for the Boston Red Sox. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe. We're live on YouTube every weekday, high noon Eastern time, bringing you nothing but Boston sports content. on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts, with segments on YouTube as well.